Today's episode is brought to you by Strive. Congratulations, Josh, on his marathon time of 2 hours and 29 minutes and something seconds. A little bit disappointed. You know, as his coach, I've politely asked him not to pull your phone out at the beginning of the race or at the end of the race. In the ribs, woke up this morning, they're still a little bit tender. It's 3 days later, but gone to go for a run, tried to run 10 metres and the body was not working in any shape or form. So after 15 minutes of trying to move, I've managed to slowly start moving at a very slow pace. So it's that situation of, do I stop or do I just slowly shuffle through it? As it brings us back to shuffle and stride, so we're just going to shuffle through it. Jack had two options: buy a pair of shoes or duty free. Zoom Fly 6, they were on sale. The cheapest shoe you could find in Kuala Lumpur. We walked into the Saucony store and he said, "Sell me these shoes, you got 30 seconds and tell me why they're better than Asics." The salesman could not do it, so we went into the Nike store and bought the best thing on sale. How do you feel? Gold Coast 9 weeks.
Sub 240 is going to be the main goal, but we'll see how the next 9 weeks go, because I think if you can get me in very good shape, there's a possibility to attack something a bit lower, around that 236 to 237 pace, which then springboards me to chasing Josh's times in Chicago in October. We're playing the long game here. Josh only has 1 to 2 races for the year and he just wings it. So I'm going to try and outwork him over the 12-month period and try and bridge the gap by October.
So you're realistically, your 229 goal is in the next 18 months?
In the next 18 months.
If no injuries, everything goes to plan, that's what you're sort of aiming?
Ideally, we want to go to Japan next year. We'll run Tokyo or Osaka in February and we'll be hopefully around there aiming 229 to low 230s. So we want to be 18 months behind Josh because he could get injured, which is very likely, and that's where the gap will get closed a lot. Yeah. So we've just done a 4K warm up with a few strides, and now we're going to move into 5 times 1K on a 60-second rest, and then 10 by 500 on a 45-second rest. So what Nick's got me doing now is we've transitioned out of the top end speed into more marathon specific. So my track volume, not at the track, but here, is around 10 Ks at speed, and we're gonna hopefully grow that a little bit as long as my body can hold up to it over the next few weeks. So we've got 5 Ks at 1K efforts, which we're gonna aim around 330 to 340, and then the 500 meter efforts, hopefully just a little bit faster.
I just want to take note of today's fabulous outfit. Jack, you ruined it. Today's fabulous outfit was not by choice, it was by pure luck. Perfect system that I have where I put my clothes in the washing machine and I fold them and I put them back in the drawer, and sometimes once in a while, but not very often, an outfit arrives that matches.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to make Nike great again. We're making Nike great again, maybe this year. So I happened to acquire Zoom Fly 6, the everyday Alpha Fly with a carbon plate. We love a sale and it was on discount and they look nice, and at my core I love Nike, but I've just been using Asics for the last 18 months. So we're going to give these a run today. They should be good for speed sessions, perfect for this to run 1Ks, 500 meter efforts. It's got a bit of extra oomph with the carbon plate, but it doesn't have that same Alpha Fly feeling that we all love with the Alpha Fly. So we'll just see how they go today and if they're durable, because a problem with Nikes in the past has been durability. I've had Alpha Flies, Alpha Fly 1s die very early. I've had Alpha Fly 2s die very early. So these are going to get absolutely destroyed, and we'll just see how long they can last for. So we've done 4x1K already. Faster than I said, we're pacing it at 3:24, I think is the average for the 4x1. So we've got another 20 seconds, we're going bang out. One more 1K rep, same like 3:24, 3:25. Then into a 45-second rest, onto 10 by 500, which I'm going to try and aim around the 310 per kilometre. Shoes feel good. They don't have the same trampoline as an Alphafly, but they feel really good. And I'm running 324 without looking at the watch. Just going on feel, and it all seems to be lining up about the same. It's very hot, so we better take this off because it's too hot now. Sarangin at 7 AM is rough. Because the sun rises on this side of the island, when we run where we live, the sun doesn't rise that side. This side, it rises straight into us. It'd be like being on the east coast of Oz. 3.2 anaerobic, 3.9. That was pretty hard. I probably pushed the paces a bit harder than I should have. That's okay. We did let's have a look. Relatively even. I dropped off a little bit in the 500s. So we've done the 1Ks at 3:24, 24, 26, 24. And then we started off the 500s at 3:10. Quickly realized that wasn't going to be attainable. So we've run 3:21 to 3:27 for the 500 meter reps. I just got too hot, overheated. I was pretty cooked by halfway in the 500s, but finished. Probably, ideally, maybe went a little bit hot in the 1Ks, but that's all right. It was fun. So we've effectively done 10Ks at sub 3:30 effort, which is that's good. And we just got to really lock in and focus for the next 9 weeks, because Josh has run a 2:29 and it's just so inspirational. And now hopefully the next race is my turn to PB again and hopefully knock off 5 to 7 minutes off my 2:44. But these sessions are the building of that. We put in 10Ks volume and speed last week, and then another 10K today. Although we played football last week, we still ran 100 kilometers, and then hopefully this week we can start that build into some big volume, because unlike Joshy boy, I need to work really hard to bring that marathon time down, and Nick's working with me to get my volume minimum 130, 140, but if we can crank it higher than that would be optimal. So it's good. Nick managed to get through his run today, which is really nice because he's just run half marathon PB last week, knocking off 9 minutes in a half marathon. But not only is that a lot of time, the previous PB was set in Melbourne in about 10 degrees temperature. This PB was set in warm weather, high humidity, no race, solo on a random Thursday morning. So hopefully it's a building block for Nick to go and finally get to Gold Coast healthy. And if he does that, then he's most likely, or almost certainly, going to run much faster than what he's run in the marathon before, which is good, because if I finish in 2 hours 40, I don't want to have to wait 6 hours for him to finish. So if he can finish in 4 hours 30 to 5 hours, it makes my day a lot easier.
So if you finish at 2 hours 40, that gives you 2 hours to find me, give me a bottle of water, cheer me on, and you can probably run the last 15 kilometres with me, if he's so kind to.